Welcome to Rhythm of Love, the podcast. I'm Clarence.
And I'm Yalonda. We celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary by writing a book together about what it took to get us here.
And in this podcast, we go deeper and break down what we learned along the way. We hope you enjoy and engage.
Comment, share, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say about what it takes to make relationships last.
Yes, we will.
Welcome.
Hey, guys, it's been a couple of weeks.
Yes,
but
we're
back.
Glad you're here with us. This week is welcome to the Rhythm of Love, the podcast with Clarence and Yalonda Lewis. I'm Yalonda.
And I'm would that make me Clarence? I guess that makes me Clarence.
At least today.
At least at this moment. I'm just because I got a series of names, C#, C, CL. Yeah, just depends on who's talking to me.
Mm-hmm. C-Bub.
She's the only person who calls me that. She's the absolute only person who calls me
Clancy.
That. Nobody calls me that anymore. She passed away. She's the only one. She's the only one who called me that.
What did you call her?
Grandma.
Grandma? Okay. All your grandmothers were grandma?
No.
Okay.
Well, yes, respectfully. You just call them by that respectfully. But
why you say respectfully?
Because
it would be disrespectful to call them by their first name.
Absolutely, absolutely disrespectful.
Certainly, you would never be allowed in the house.
Right, but a lot of my my cousins who grew up with my grandmother would call her mama. Call them mama. Yeah. Because she was like their mother more, and so I never had that issue, so I didn't. That wasn't my place.
Yeah. I had only had two grandparents, two grandmothers. Oh no, I had three grandmothers at one time, and the grandmother that I lived with sometimes in the summers and all that stuff. The one I spent the most of the time with. She was Granny. Oh yeah, see. Yeah,
that's
what I mean by, did you call it any other thing besides grandma?
No, I spent summers with Grandma Peterson. I didn't spend nearly as much time with Grandma Doris or Grandma Ferguson. And it's interesting that I even just said that because Grandma Doris is her first name because Hamilton is actually her last name. I never called her that.
Grandma Hamilton.
Grandma Hamilton. I never ever called her that. So it was
a mouthful.
Right. So Grandma Doris and then Grandma Ferguson. But my parents.
Did you really call her Grandma Ferguson?
Not to her face.
Okay. But when you're talking about her, you're differentiating between the different grandmas.
So yeah, not to her face. But my grandparents, on my biological grandparents, spent so much time taking care of my cousins and my uncles and those people. And my parents were fortunate enough to move me out of those neighborhoods and into Maryland.
Suburbs.
I was a Maryland boy. They lived in the city. They lived in the suburbs. So, they have most of my cousins have an entirely different relationship with my grandparents than I do.
Right.
So, no ill feelings, but certainly
they were closer.
I'm farther down on the favorite grandchild totem pole.
You don't know.
I know.
You know for sure. They tell you.
You're
not my favorite, baby.
They don't tell me they're not their favorite, but it's what they do for you that lets you know. So, like when I bought my first house, I needed a cosigner. And my grandmother said, I'll co-sign for you. And I filled out all this paperwork. I took it over there, had her fill out paperwork. And then I go to turn the paperwork in and she calls me. She doesn't even call me. She calls my mom to tell my mom can't do this. So I don't turn the paperwork in because
you don't have a cosigner.
I don't have a cosigner. And then in the end, we were able to work it out, so I didn't need a cosigner. But I thought that was
a blow.
I thought that was a little hurtful. Everybody vouched for me, and I never got into any kind of trouble or any kind of situations that would even make a person believe that I wasn't a person of my word, that I wouldn't do this. Do I understand?
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Right. That's the thing. Like, there's common advice given is to not get into any kind of financial agreements with family members.
Right. Do I understand?
Yeah.
Yes. But
it still hurts.
I had this conversation with my mom recently, which is the two sides of loyalty and trust.
Okay.
The two sides.
Okay.
Because I told her, and my dad, we were talking about some money that my dad wanted to give Elizabeth. Okay. And I said,
Elizabeth is our daughter's support staff.
Right.
Person.
So my dad said, I was at his house. He said, I want to give Elizabeth some money. I want to give Nathan some money, but I'm not giving it to them right now. I might give them to them at some point in the future. So I don't want you to have to come back over here to get the money. So I'm going to give you these checks. And the checks are blank. Just, I'll call you and tell you what I want you to do and just fill the checks out and deposit them and move. And that's the way it is.
That'll be the gift for that.
That'll be the gift.
Occasion.
Right. So the conversation I was having with my mom is that is a tremendous amount of trust on his side that I won't do anything nefarious with those or untoward with those checks.
Right.
But that's his side.
Mm-hmm.
But my side is I can't do anything nefarious or untoward with this money because it's just going to ruin my reputation. It's going to ruin what people think about me. It's going to ruin. So I don't want to risk that.
Right.
So, and it's a little bit easy to say at 53 that my father has this kind of trust in me. But my father sent me to college with a checkbook and said, if you need money, fill out this checkbook and deposit it into your account. Mm-hmm. Just got to call me first.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was a full checkbook that he sent me to college with. And I came home, if it's 30 checks in a checkbook, when I came home from college, I had 25 checks in there. So in my whole time in college, I only used like 4 or 5 of these checks.
So one a year.
That's what it seemed, right? Because you working, you making your own money. So I don't need.
We're trying to use it just for like an emergency.
It's emergency money.
Yeah.
It's emergency money. So we don't do checks too much anymore. Now we do the same thing with Nathan. Nathan has a credit card
mm-hmm.
that they can, so I extend that to him, that there won't be any crazy charges on our cars because I trust him. But I hope he feels the same way I felt, which is I don't want to let him down.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
I'm pretty sure he feels that way. I don't know what would have to happen. They would have to be kicking him out of the campus, I suppose.
Right. All he got to do is call though.
Say,
Dad, I'm in trouble.
Right. I need to
use that car.
Mm-hmm.
The simplest thing that can happen is something happens to his car.
Right. Thankfully, when everything has happened to his car, it's always happened when he was home and not at school. But yes, that makes sense. Right. I think he didn't even take the car with him the first year.
I don't know. But I gave it to him.
I got to check in with him and say, do you have this car? This emergency car for when emergencies arise?
That's a good question.
He didn't want to be tempted.
Didn't want to be tempted.
It's a good sale at the thrift store where he likes to shop.
So we are deep into much about nothing.
I mean, we're just chatting about things.
So
yes.
we're going to tell y'all about our trip to Vegas.
Sure.
And then we're going to talk about talk about the topic for this week, and we're going to go from there. So, all right. So the reason we was off last week is because we went to Las Vegas. And I can tell you right now that if there's something that you want to do, you can do it in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that you might consider and that you can imagine and dream of.
And maybe some things you
hadn't even thought of. You could do those things in Vegas.
Yes.
So a friend of ours was throwing one event, and he was connected with another person who was throwing 2 more events. Mm-hmm. So it ended up being 3 parties: Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. Sunday day, correct, in Vegas. So did you have a good time?
I had a great time. And we did not gamble 1 nickel away.
Not 1 nickel.
We didn't even go inside a casino. The closest we got to the slot machines was at the airport.
We did go in the Mandalay Bay.
We did,
but we didn't go to
the casino. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
We went into one of the hotels, but we didn't go into the casino. Is what I'm saying. Yes, we just partied all weekend. Just partied, and clean, wholesome fun. Not like the kind of thing that stays in Vegas. We could actually talk about what we did.
Yeah, I mean, because this time. This time we can, we had.
At least that's what we're saying on this episode.
Let me tell you the funny story that I told Yalonda, which was we at this nightclub the first night, and it's kind of a little hole in the wall club, but it's it's a bunch of people that we know. But it's very cool. The drinks are flowing because they had free drinks,
open bar for like the first 2 hours.
Right. So the drinks are flowing. I don't drink very much, but even I had a drink. So there's a waitress in the bar who is, I dare use the word, almost naked. Would you consider this?
I mean, she could have been working at a strip joint
easily. This
is what the servers wear at this place.
It wasn't her choice of outfits. It was the uniform.
There was a uniform with like some panty style shorts with fishnet stockings underneath.
Yeah. All of that.
And I think you got to be thick in order to work there.
So she was a young tenderoni. Because I'm sure she was only like 22, 23 years old.
Right, I'm sure.
And, buxom and all of those those words that you could use to describe a girl. Waist was the word to use. Y'all used snatched, and waist was snatched, and, titties was out.
And the curves was curving.
So that was all. That was fine, though. That's no big deal because I didn't even order any food, so we didn't talk to her that way. But at one point, the dance floor was a little crowded. Not overly crowded, but a little crowded. And me and another guy was standing next to the booth where you got to walk past us to get to the people who you want to serve food to.
The tables, yeah.
And
the edge of the dance floor.
She just kept, at least 2 times, but this time in particular, she needed to get past me to get to the thing. And I saw that. I have great spatial awareness about how people need to move. That's a different conversation for another day. I have great spatial awareness. So, I see her coming and position myself to give her space to go by. And she has to go between me and cello music. That's who the guy who was with me. Cello music.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can't account for is how crowded the dance floor is and how big her boobs are. Those are the 2 things that I'm having trouble accounting for. So I'm on my tiptoes, pressing my back up against the wall, trying to give her enough space to get through so she won't touch me or she won't have to brush up against me. And I mean, as she's getting close, as she's getting closer, I see that she's not gonna make it. She's not gonna make it.
So the people on the dance floor are dancing hard.
They do what they doing. She's not gonna make
her
it.
No
Them
space.
boobs are gonna hit me. And I mean, it was like I saw them coming like a mile away. Their boobs are gonna hit me. So I suck my stomach in, and I mean, I'm doing everything I can to give her this space, and them boobs still hit me, slid right across my stomach, and
because she wasn't
tall.
She wasn't
tall. Slid right across my stomach, and then when she got past, I released and let my stomach go, and cello music could not stop laughing because he saw this whole thing play out right in front of him, and I turned to him and I said, I did everything I could. And he said, you absolutely did. And I did what I could.
So is it better that she turned to the front so that her boobs brush by you, or should she have turned her back to you so that her
better for who?
Better for you. I mean, we can't ask her what's better for her. She chose what was best for her.
I mean, I wasn't mad.
Either way,
I wasn't mad. I mean, I want to be clear.
Got a little treat.
You're right. I want to be clear that I wasn't asking for a treat. I wasn't petitioning, but I'm not complaining
about the treat that you got.
I wasn't complaining at all. I wasn't complaining at all. And then,
and where am I in this whole thing?
On the dance floor.
I'm on the dance floor.
You're one of the people.
I'm part of the people
you're on
blocking
the dance floor.
her way.
So then a little bit later, I was on the other side of the room and near the bathroom talking to Tawana, and the woman came out of this time, the same woman, she comes out of the bathroom this time, and it's another narrow space, and I push my body up against the wall again because, we don't want to this time I even turn around so that my back is to her as I'm pushing myself up to the wall. And she rubs up against me again. And Tawana says, she been rubbing. And I said, that woman keep rubbing up against me. And Tawana says, me too. I said,
is that your spatial awareness? She like, look, I got work to do.
I got work to do. She didn't, I'm sure she left that place, didn't think one.
In the moment, she didn't think nothing of it. She was like, I'm getting to where I need to get.
Yes. And these boobs, I have these boobs I had.
What I'm working with is what I'm working with.
But it was funny to me. I thought it was hilarious. So, but we was good to go after that.
Just a couple brush ups.
We don't ask for much. Y'all think we asking for much. I'm not asking for much. But I did feel like the old man in the club.
Well,
because I'm
kind of were.
I wasn't hitting on her though.
No, you weren't.
And I wasn't even the oldest person in there that night.
No, you probably weren't the oldest person. I don't know who was older than you, but yeah,
I think
we were kind of a older crowd.
We were an older crowd. Yes, we were an older crowd
because the young people came in while we were in there, and we were all reminded how young we are not. Because they looking like babies and kids in the club. Like babies and kids,
definitely. So, fast forward to the next night, we go to a nightclub. We have dinner with a friend of ours, the friend of mine who Yalonda is kind of meeting for the first time. A guy who's another DJ in Vegas who lives there. We meet with him and his fiance and some of their friends, which turned out to be a really, really nice time.
As a whole DJ crowd and spouse,
right? Then we go to
except for one couple with both of them were DJs,
right? So then we go to another Vegas nightclub where it's like the joints you see in the movies where we had a lounge area behind the DJ booth where we looking through a window at the people party
above the people, kind of looking down on the people partying.
So that was cool. And, then
we had a little VIP area.
My wife had been drinking. She had been drinking kind of all day, so it was good. And she was just drunk enough, as I've said this to her before, just drunk enough that she won't fall asleep, but I can still take advantage of her a little bit when we get back to the room.
We already back in the room.
It's a delicate balance that you got to have there, where you don't mind if they drink a little bit, but you don't want them to be too drunk to where they pass out. But you want them to be drunk enough that their inhibitions are gone.
Our parents listen to this podcast.
They didn't get to be parents by themselves for no reason at all. They didn't get to be parents by accident. So, all right. So then the next day we go to, which is the kind of...
You didn't even talk about how I was drinking. I had 2 bourbon, 2 old fashions at the restaurant. Lost all inhibition in this area, and was just talking, just doing more talking.
So let's clear that up. She just was talking a lot. She didn't lose all control. She just was talking exceptionally.
Right. And I'm not a talker like that. Like, even just the fact that we're doing this podcast, I'm already out of my...
She says that it's not true. She just wants to believe it.
The person that I used to be, I guess.
You just want to believe that.
I wasn't... You think I was the talker like forever?
I think you've been a talker for a long time.
For a long time. I mean, when you met me, was I a talker? No. It depends on the environment, right? When I'm around my girls, when I'm around my line sisters, I go.
You talk plenty. You talk plenty.
So I feel like I didn't talk plenty. Like when we would go out with the couple that we used to hang out with in Durham, I felt like compared to her, maybe it was just compared to her, but I do feel like we would go places and I would be pretty quiet and to myself. I feel like that's the kind of person I am, and you're telling me I'm not. Interesting.
I mean, I think you
talk to you, definitely.
You ain't gotta remind me of that. You don't gotta remind me.
I think it just depends on the environment, or if I've had 2 old fashions and then it's over.
So like I said,
to the point where he tells me, he was rubbing my leg like, okay, you've said enough.
She just
trying to quiet me down. I don't even remember the rubbing of the leg.
I was trying.
At least I was not getting that message. The rubbing of the leg was not telling me, okay, honey.
It was a rub and a squeeze enough. And a couple of squeezes.
You said enough.
You just talking.
There was at one point I was talking so much that I actually said, I don't even know why I'm telling you guys this. But did that stop me?
No, it wasn't.
I just kept on talking. It was like I was having an out of body experience.
It was a yellow flag.
I was watching myself do all this daggone talking.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy.
See, you can admit it was crazy. It was more talking than I ever do in scenarios like this, with the whole table full of people that I just met for the first time.
Yes, and that specific context, yes, with all of those parameters in place, yes.
Trying to tell me I'm a talker,
but you are plenty. You talk plenty. You talk plenty.
I'm just finding this out. I don't know. I guess it depends on the topic area. So, I don't know.
Like I said,
I just never thought of myself as a talker.
Once you get comfortable.
Once I get comfortable, that's true.
You go.
That's true.
You don't mind going. Dr. Chris Wright is the same way. You think that they are quiet when you meet them because they can be they're not overwhelming with their personality. But sit down with them,
and I'm in this them.
Yeah, and let that initial interaction go away, and they get comfortable with you.
Break the ice.
And
once the ice is broken, it's a deluge.
How many weddings did we go to where we sit next to Chris and he have you over there just cracking up because he's just making mad jokes against the people that we see out there, like the woman with the
bird's nest hat.
And he over there like
going in on her.
But you would never know because he's not.
And his voice is very low in volume. So you have to be sitting
He's
close.
talking to you.
Yes.
Right.
He's not joking with the whole table.
Not joking with the whole table, but he talking. But that don't mean he not talking.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway,
interesting.
So moving on, finishing
Things
up
you learn about
the last part of our Vegas trip, we go to this day party, which is a pool party at this adults only hotel. But because we have checked out of our hotel and we're taking an Uber from that hotel to the airport.
We bring our luggage.
We bring our luggage with us, and I'm certain that the Uber driver that picked us up to take us to the airport thought we were staying at that hotel.
Oh yeah, and that whatever goes on in that hotel,
we were down.
We were all up in it because he was giving us looks like.
Because the hotel is off the beaten path,
way off.
It's next to two strip clubs and several adult novelty stores.
Yes,
so you could just imagine the type of hedonism that's going on at this hotel, and we come out with our luggage.
Not with us. We were just having a nice little day party. Hardly any of us even had on bathing suits.
Correct.
But what it looked like, perception is reality.
He was judging us.
He was giving us knowing looks like.
He was judging us the whole time.
All the Uber drivers we had all weekend long were just chatting us up.
He ain't saying no
He didn't say anything. He said, your secret is... See how silent I am right now? Your secret is safe with me. I'm not telling nobody.
Pretty much.
It's between me and you. Go on back to your regular life. Wherever you're going.
Yes.
Because I got you.
Yes. Yes, we did. Yes. So... a good time was had in Vegas, and then we got home and we had to replace the washing machine.
Yes. The very next day.
Had to replace the washing machine. So
machine
we got back to being real life real fast.
Real fast.
Real life came back real quick.
Immediately.
So
yeah. But shout out to DJ IQ Music and
his wife Brenna.
Yes. Captured by Bren.
Captured by Bren. Is that what the name?
It's to DJ Prodigy, the Taskmaster.
He don't go by that anymore. It's Prodigy TM now.
DJ Prodigy.
He's growing up. He's growing up now. He's grown. He's grown past that. It
was just a lot to type and to spell.
Yeah, it was a lot to type and spell.
Underscores and whatnot.
Prodigy TM.
Right. So DJ Prodigy and DJ IQ, who put together a great streamer social in Vegas this past weekend.
Yeah, we'll put their links in the description, so you can go check them out. We'll put their links in the description.
Mm-hmm.
So. Now we're back, and we have, and now we're like 25 minutes into this thing, and we haven't even told y'all what we're going to talk about. But so let's go ahead and kind of break the question. I've seen this question asked a ton of times on social media space.
Okay.
And hopefully,
we have something to add to the discussion.
To the diaspora.
Okay.
All right. Which is
just as can married people have platonic friends?
Sure.
Outside of their marriage. You say it like that, like it's already sounds like it's a negative thing. But just can married people have platonic friends?
So,
I guess our answer is yes.
Our
we
answer
certainly
is
both have platonic friends. I mean, you much more so than I do.
But that has to do with my personality.
Yeah.
So,
because I'm quiet, so
you just don't make new friends. You just haven't made very many new friends. But
I think the real difference is not the making of the friends; it's what that means. Like I can be your friend and I don't call you. So I don't know. Maybe there's another word for that, associate. But
I think it. So I don't have very many.
I don't look to hang out with you.
Right. I don't have very many new friends either.
True.
But a handful.
A handful.
A handful, but not very many. Most of the women that are my friends were my friends even before we got married.
Right. You went to high school with them. You went to college with them.
Right.
They're your sorors.
Right. So these people are long-standing friends. There's not. I can't think of. Other than people that we met on Twitch during the pandemic, and since that we do consider friends. But they are our friends, meaning we met them together.
They know both of us.
Right, all those things. It's not something where I got to introduce you to this person. Right. Most of these people are people that we both know.
We met at the same
place.
Yeah.
So, that's what the difference is to me in these people that we're talking about. So I've known, Tracy and Hope and Tanya and some of these other people, Angie Moore, Tanea. I've known these people, Kenya, for
decades.
Mm-hmm. And we call each other because I'm big on connection. That's just part of that. We talked about that. That's part of my thing.
Manly womanhood.
I love to, if I feel like I need to talk to you, then I just call you, which also makes me feel a little bit old because I heard somebody say, I use my phone for everything, but
a phone.
And then I get mad when people call me. Can't you just text me? So I heard somebody say that joke just the other day. I thought that was hilarious.
Yes, you did. You sent that to me, and I can feel that. I feel that. I don't necessarily get. I do, question what could you possibly have to talk to me about that you can't text me?
That's crazy to me.
We gotta be on the phone. But see, I'm awkward on the phone in general. I just told my sister that today because she was saying, I suppose when you get around to it, if it's been weeks or months since we talked, that you would call me.
You say I'm awkward.
And I'm awkward on the phone. I don't even know what that is. It's something about maybe not being able to see your face, not being able to see your reactions. I don't know. I'm awkward. I'm so awkward on the phone.
It's such
what you talking about? What you talking about?
That's silly. That's so silly.
This is me.
And then
I can't get off the phone. I end up being on the phone with people forever.
And all those things are easy to me. Hey,
I
gotta go.
Right.
Hey, I gotta go.
Say that. I can say that to my family members and my close friends. But if it's somebody I don't talk to that often.
Hey, I gotta go.
Right? Just say it.
Hey.
Just say. All
hey,
right,
listen.
then.
It's been good.
Great.
I gotta go though. I gotta run. You're grown. You got a list of excuses that you can use. Somebody's calling me. My job is on the phone.
I mean, whatever. Right. I could just be like, bye. All right then. Great to talk to you. I'm gonna let you go. That is my line though. I'm gonna let you go. Because I know I'm holding you, and I don't want to hold you. I don't
want to let you go. I'm
gonna let you go.
I gotta go.
I don't know why I have such people in my life who really love to talk to me.
I gotta go. It's just that simple. Hey, oh man, I gotta go. I'll get with you.
I don't know why it's so awkward for me to identify that moment. Like, I feel like you kind of like deep in your story. I don't want to interrupt your story.
I know you're in the middle of this right there, dog, but something has come up real quick. I gotta go.
It's the rudeness. It's the rudeness for me. It's the potential rudeness.
Hit me back. Hey, listen. I gotta run do this real quick. Hit me back tomorrow. We can finish this up.
Yeah, we not talking tomorrow. If we just talk today, we not talking tomorrow.
But that put the onus on him.
Tomorrow.
They call you back. You
don't answer.
You ain't got to take the call. This is just
that's too much. I could use your other suggestions.
Listen,
I can just end it. I don't need to call tomorrow.
I know that's what some of my friends are doing when I call. Not answering my call. I'm so certain
because we're all in the texting era, and you're still in 1995.
I'm calling, and I know they're not answering my call, and I'm not offended in the least. I'm going to be calling tomorrow. Yo, call me back. I'm leaving voicemails. I'm doing all that stuff.
Voicemails they probably not listening to.
Right.
Well,
And I don't even
see what C-Sharp want to talk to me about.
And
Do
I
you
don't
leave
even,
detailed voice messages?
Yes. So
okay,
I have
please.
moved to.
You gotta leave the detailed voicemail.
I have moved past the call me back.
Call me. Yes.
This is what I'm calling for.
Right. That's the purpose of a voicemail message, is to say exactly why I'm calling. So
even if the call is just to say, hey man, I was just calling to say hello. You don't I've called and said I was just calling to hear your voice. You don't have to call me back. I heard the voicemail. I'm good to go. And I'm moving on.
I heard your voice on the voicemail greeting.
I'm good.
But yes, that I'm glad you are key to the proper use of the voicemail message. The voicemail message should be
people do it with texts too.
And time bound.
People do it with texts too. Call me or
no. What are we talking about?
This is what I'm calling for.
See, I don't even leave voicemails. I just say if you don't pick up, then I text you. Oh, I was just calling to say blah blah blah.
Sure.
And then we can have a text conversation or not. It's fine with me.
It is a fair. I'm off caller, so and that's the way it's going to be, and I don't plan on changing. So if you get a call from me
out there,
I hope
listening.
you answer. I hope you answer. You may not. I hope you answer.
And if you call me and I don't answer, just text me, and I will answer like a mug.
You'll answer. That's the worst. You call, she don't answer.
I won't answer right away.
And the text come back almost immediately. What's up?
That means I don't want to be on the phone right now.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's the same. How is that different than if we're on the phone and I say, all right, then I got to go. It's the exact same thing. It's me setting a boundary.
The first one is you ignore my call, but you text me right back when I text you. That says...
I'm not in a place where I could be on the phone right now. So I'm multitasking, and being on the phone is not one of the things I'm going to multitask.
I get all of that. But you got to say that. Hey, I've had people
I'll do that.
Me back and say,
what's up?
I'm busy.
Right.
I can't talk right now.
I'm at work. Right. I'm on a conference call.
I get.
Yeah. I'm getting ready for a meeting. Yeah, I don't typically just be like, What's up? I know you just called me.
What's up? Like, I got a couple of friends who are musicians who say that no matter when I call them, they're in rehearsal. And it's not legitimately, when I do talk to them, it's like a joke, a running joke that I always manage to call them when they are in rehearsal.
At least when they're
on stage or something like that.
Are they on stage?
I have called... and Kevin, who is one of the guys' names, has answered the phone and just like hit the receive, but he's still playing the drums.
So you could just hear
him playing he in rehearsal. And then I just hang up. Oh, okay, that's what's going on. Let me hang up. He does that to me all the time when I call him.
You probably the only person that called him. He know when the phone ring. They go, Clarence. Let me just press this button.
Because he know if he don't call me back, I'm going to give him hell. He don't call me back, I'm going to give him hell.
This is not the age of calling.
It's the age of calling. All right, so we off topic. Okay, so let's get back. Okay, so we good.
So we talking about friends.
Right.
How many of us have them?
So then the question says, in an interesting twist of fate today, I was having another conversation with a friend of mine, and we had the conversation of are male friends really platonic friends or just friends that
in waiting
friends in waiting
waiting for the benefits.
But I knew when she said it, I was like, oh, I can use this tonight because I know this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about anyway,
right?
So I can use this information, right. So as a woman, is that what you think? So, because you don't have very many male friends.
Most of my male friends are married. I consider them friends, no matter how we got to that point, but most of them are married. So for the married ones, I certainly hope not. But if there's any single friend, that would be something of a concern. That would be something of a concern. But I can't say that I've had that experience where I felt like he just waiting for his moment. Because, most of the guy friends I have, they also know you.
Sure.
So, nah. But do I think that's a thing? Yes. So, especially if you're single.
If you're both single.
If you're both single.
So if you're both single, then I think that the chances from the male side are higher, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Especially
if you're attractive.
Right. I was going to say, if you're just not their type at all for whatever reason, or y'all known each other since y'all were tiny tots and you kind of feel like you kind of got a brother, sister, cousin type of relationship and you just can't think of that person in that way. But 9 times out of 10, certainly, I feel like if you were like, I just need somebody tonight, they wouldn't be like turning you down. I didn't mean to say it like that, like she's crying, but if she's just like into you, even for the night, that what dude is gonna say, you know what? Do I preserve the friendship, or do I?
So it's a solid question.
Get the goodies.
And I think it depends. It absolutely depends.
Does it depend on how attractive she is, or does it depend on how good of a friendship it is? Like the benefits of the friendship outweigh the potential benefits of the one night stand or the goodies or the cookies.
I think it's all mixed in there. I don't think you can pick out the one thing that makes it this or that.
Right. Stop it.
I think I don't think you would want to ruin the friendship if you didn't think that this was going to be turned into something.
Okay.
Like, are we going down this road just because this is what's happening tonight, or is this the first step towards something more long term as a single person?
Right.
So,
and if it's not,
then
if the likelihood that it's going to go there, then you probably want to just
say
lay
this is
off
probably
and,
not a good.
This
because I don't ever see. Maybe and this is just my personal experience. I don't ever see a woman in that state unless she's had too much to drink or she's emotional about something else.
Right. Yeah. Which is why I did the whole crying thing. Like she's already just like sad. Her boyfriend broke up with her. She's feeling unwanted.
And as a friend, a real friend, you don't want to take advantage of that.
As a real friend.
Because we're conflating two things. As a real friend, you don't want to take advantage of that. But that doesn't mean that if those things weren't true.
Right. If she was just like, you know what? It's on tonight. Me and you.
Then that's a different situation.
She's sober-minded.
Right. All those
not
things
feeling
you might say
any type of way, except she feeling a way about you.
Right. And then
you give it a try.
Then it depends on how you feel about her.
Right.
Do you think, can I separate these two things from one another tomorrow?
Right. And I mean, is that ever possible? I mean, I guess it happens that you just go back to being friends again. We tried it. We did it.
It didn't work.
Yeah. So the sex had to be bad?
No. Doesn't.
Oh, okay. So why it didn't work? Because what? I just don't want to. I don't feel that way about you now. Now that I've had you,
woof, woof.
I prefer you as a friend.
No,
my preference is let's go back to friendship.
and that's why it's such a delicate thing. It's such a delicate thing. You know, I have friends who I think are, you know, attractive. And I just, you know, but I'm a married man.
Right.
But let me tell you this, and I think I've told you this story before, but I'll tell you the story. So we had been married less than a year. And your dad came down for the revival or the retreat that he used to do at the church in Raleigh. And so I took a day off work to kind of hang with your dad because I'm getting to know everything. I'm getting to know him. So I took a day off work, and we went and shot some basketball, and we went to the mall, and, you know, did some guy stuff. Some guy stuff. You know, all guy stuff.
Okay.
And we in the mall, Crabtree Valley Mall.
Yes. Remember it well.
Yes. And a couple of good-looking ladies walked by. I don't know. We were sitting down or whatever. A couple of good-looking ladies walked by. But I'm not going to even turn my head to even look at these ladies because I'm sitting with my dad, with my father-in-law, you know. So
brand new father-in-law.
I'm not going to be disrespectful in any way, shape, or form. And he said, "Hey, man." And he points them out, how good they look. I said, "I can't be looking at them girls." He said, "You married. You ain't blind."
Good old dad. Good old dad. Nothing wrong with a little eye candy. And chomp, chomp. Eat it up.
Your dad.
Hey, what's good for the goose is good for the candy. I be checking out the eye candy too.
Said you ain't blind. You only married.
And when you told me that story, I said, "Oh, okay, then we good. He can look, I can look. Just that's all.
You married.
Look, but don't touch. You're not blind.
You're not blind." So I say all that to say, you know, I tend not to put myself in situations to have to make that decision. I don't, you know,
right.
To have to. My friends are super respectful of the fact that I am married. You know, I present you well out front.
Right. Yes. You talk about me a lot. Yeah. You introduce yourself practically as a happily married man.
Right. So, but
my wife always says that.
I wouldn't. So
I always tell my wife.
But do I think you can do it? The answer is yes. Do I think that there is one essential element required for you to do it? And that is yes. And that is have some self-control.
Certainly.
Just have some self-control. And, you know, that doesn't mean that they're not fine or that they're not looking good or any of those things. Just have some self-control and, you know, ask yourself the question, is this an appropriate thing to say? Or would I be okay with Yalonda knowing that I said this? Or
to this woman.
To this woman. And if I'm not comfortable with that answer, honestly with myself, then it's not something I say. Or it's not something I do.
Okay.
So there are confidant kind of things that I need input on that I ask. But beyond that, no.
And I also remember me saying to you, "Oh, there's this particular friend that I think if something were to happen to me, that y'all would end up together."
And what did I say
in my mind? And you said no, because we know too much about each other.
At this point, we know too much.
Yeah, about each other's kind of relationship habits, turmoils.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too far.
That's the brother, sister, or the cousin.
It's gone too far.
It's gone. The friendship is gone.
It's gone too
into
far.
forever friends land.
Right. So someone else said that there's no set. That friend zone was created by men to describe the place where women put them.
Right.
Because they were trying to get with the woman, and the woman wouldn't let them, never thought of them or never looked at them that way. And so, that is something that men have created. And I said, bullshit. But
what did you say? Women created it?
It is how we how we look at things just differently. That men are from Mars, women from Venus kind of thing. How we look at things are different.
I mean, I feel like we can agree that there is a friend zone.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Okay. But you're talking about the difference is who created it.
Who created it. Specifically, who created it. Men didn't put themselves there. Women found a place to put them.
Okay. That's believable. Because I was going to say also that I think some of it has to do with age and maturity as well.
Sure.
Because when you're young, you just have this conquer mentality, like, I got to hit everything that looks good to me. And, the friendships be damned. I don't need any female friends, but I do need to get at you.
Again, it's
her choice. She's the one saying this is not going to be a physical relationship.
It all depends. There was if you meet two. If you are in a situation where you meet somebody and she likes your friend.
Right.
But y'all still in the same circles, y'all still run the same places, then y'all end up becoming friends.
Right.
That's not something that I was trying to get with that person or I'm trying to get with you. We just end up being in the same places at the same time. And if your personality is such that you are not closed off to the opposite sex. Like, we know friends who say, I cannot talk to you because you are the husband or the wife of a person that I am friends with. And they just won't even engage
with you at all. Yes.
We know people like that.
Yes.
So that's why I say it just depends. And then we know people who...
Do we know men like that?
Men don't have that. I keep telling you, men don't have that. I don't think they have it. I don't know if they have it. I don't think they have it. I hate to sound so definitive on.
Oh, right. Because certainly there's exceptions always. And there's, certain type of men and other types of men and all those things. Yeah. No generalizations. But in our experience,
in my experience,
right?
None of my friends
know
are
a
like
friend that a guy who would be like, I can't even talk to you because you my boy's.
Yeah, I don't have any
wife.
I don't have any friends like that.
Yeah. But do you have friends on the other side of that coin who are like telling his boys, don't talk to my girl?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not my friends.
Okay.
Not my friends.
Okay.
So
that's the type of people you hang out with.
You have a certain
right. You tend to attract people who are more like
more closely with your personality type than not.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it at all in terms of having friends. I have been bothered by it though.
Sure.
And it takes me getting to know that person, and you being open with how you engage with them and not being all private, going out to the car to talk to them type of thing.
Right. Never.
Yeah. That helps me to relax and say, okay, this is legitimately a friend. But I think we should say this, in order to really to maintain a platonic friendship, if you're in a married couple, if as a married person, you have to have boundaries. They can't call you in the middle of the night. if they come, if they ask you to come help them move furniture, you show up and they're half dressed and things like that. I think there should be a limit to time that you spend alone anyway with this platonic friend. Y'all can go have coffee while y'all need to be on her couch watching Netflix, when you can go somewhere and enjoy each other's company that way. The trust has to be at a level between the husband and the wife as well.
I don't know that I've ever spent, I don't even know if I've ever visited most of my platonic friends' home.
That's what I like about you.
Like, I'll say, hey, I'm on my way there to pick you up so we can go and do whatever.
She comes downstairs.
She typically comes downstairs
and drive away.
And we drive away.
Yes. This is what I like. These are the things that help me say, okay, he's keeping this on a friendship level at all times.
I'm trying to keep my dudes.
Right.
I wouldn't
let them be your dudes. Consider them your dudes. Right. You would not walk up and
I already know I'm not opening doors.
Right. You're not opening doors for them.
I ain't opening no doors for them. They got their own door.
You're not checking them out. You're not saying, ooh, you look good. That skirt is fitting nicely.
Not verbally, but I'm not blind.
As we've established.
Not verbally.
Lord.
But I'm not blind. But not verbally.
But yes, please don't tell them. Please don't tell them. I appreciate that. I appreciate you keeping it on the this is my dude level. The things I do with you are the things I do with
me and Paul.
Right. With Paul.
Me and Paul were we were in Atlanta one time. With I can't remember, a woman that went to Howard with Paul when he was at Howard.
Okay.
And Hope. Those are the people we were with. And the four of us, me and Paul was in town playing golf. And so we caught up with them at some alumni, some Howard alumni party. And Hope was just hanging out with us. And we go out to this spoken word party or thing with, some event. And as we are leaving, this guy is walking towards us, and I can clearly see that he is looking at her. So I say, that guy looking at you. And she's like, okay. I say, you want me to step away? Because that's her,
Right. Let me make space.
Let me make space for this man. And she says, please don't. I said, all right. Please don't.
Do not make space for him. I guess that is a benefit of hanging out with you.
I was a beard. I was her beard.
Yes.
I don't know if she wants a beard, but I was her beard.
We got it. Yes. No.
Because I was like, it's all good, Joe. If you want to talk to her, it's all good.
Right.
She was like,
this wedding ring is for somebody else.
Yep. She's like, don't go. A long time ago.
So yeah, which is cool.
But everybody got to define what works for them. This will work for us.
Right.
So,
it took some work.
But
now we figured out how to make it work for us, because you're a super friendly guy. And now that I've met all of your female friends, for the most part.
And then some of them become your friends and stop calling me and talking to me all together. So
very few.
So they love you. Especially this whole new crop. They love you. They love you. I am chopped liver.
Very, very few.
So
as long as you recognize your place.
All right.
So that's it. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So some housekeeping. First, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast.
Thank you.
We are working on getting our numbers up. We're only doing one more. We're doing this episode, and then we'll do one more episode, and then we're going to shut it down for the year. And then we'll start back up sometime early in the next year.
Yeah.
And look for, a great season 2. Season 2 is going to be amazing.
Yeah, we're learning and we're figuring out, we're making our plan for season 2.
Right.
Yes.
Second, we are in the middle of writing our second book. We're going to write another book. We'll tell you more details about it as we move in a little bit farther, but we are putting a second book together, and we think this is going to be a very, very good book, and we're going to need your help to make it great. So we think it's going to be a good book, and we're going to, I won't spoil anything about it just yet, and we'll get to that. Thirdly, Sunday nights, we are on twitch.tv/DJC# for Heartbeats. Please come by and check it out. We'd love to see you there in the chat, interacting with us. I'll play some tunes. She'll talk you to death.
Because apparently I'm a talker now.
See, she act like
I'm a talker now. I'm not, though. I'm not. I'm faking.
It's just hilarious. Faking. It's hilarious.
And so, because the thing is, it's not that I don't have things to say, it's that I often choose not to say them. But when I'm on the spot with a microphone in front of me, you get what you get.
You get what you get.
You get what's going on up here, and you find out it's a lot going on up here. And it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. If you saw my upbringing, I got crazy in my upbringing, so it comes out.
Yeah.
What can I say?
You do. You definitely got crazy in your upbringing. All right. So
we appreciate y'all. We are so happy that you are joining us.
You starting over.
To hear about our rhythm. I feel like you were supposed to say that. You pointed to me. This is your line. This is what I'm saying. Your line.
This is my spot.
No, I'm gonna continue with my line. With your line, you got to say my line, which is
all right.
Now you know a little bit more about how we found our rhythm of love, and we hope that what we share will help you find your rhythm, so that you can
live by the rhythm and love by the rhythm. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
We switched it up this time.
Good day. Good night.
Y'all let me know if y'all like it.
Good morning.
I think she does it better than I do. So I think she does. I think I do my part and you do the end part better. So I think we should.
We're gonna go back to what we. This was just for today.
Yeah. All right. Next time. Peace.
And so
we hope you've enjoyed another exciting episode of Rhythm of Love, the podcast, hosted by Clarence and Yalonda Lewis.
Theme song by Kendra R.
Book graphics by Rihanna Denise.
More information is available at cYLentertainment.com.
Please join us on Sunday nights for our live stream on twitch.tv/DJC#.